What's going on, Facebook and YouTube? How you doing?
Purified music. This is Purified Radio with Laura and Shill.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you joining. Appreciate you. I'm going to tickle your bag a little bit. Going to do a little talking about financials, about money, about currency, about about general aggro-ness, and going to try to maybe not be on the political side for a second, but maybe talk a little bit about monies and such, and respond to some of the crypto conversations going from my video today. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Hope everybody's having a good Sunday. Thanks for tickling my grundle. Appreciate it. I'm sitting down as to not create too much sweat. Gonna try not to just do too much sweating. A little bit of sweat, a little bit of yelling. All right. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So I posted this video today about cryptocurrency, which I think is hilarious. And every single time I talk about crypto, people freak out, Jack. Everybody gets real upset. People start foaming from the mouth. Everybody starts weighing in and yelling at me and stuff. And some of the most visceral responses that I've gotten in previous videos have been related to something that maybe like not blindly pro Donald at the time, or specifically crypto. People get really up inside my dirt star and start doing a sachet in there every time I talk about cryptocurrency. So whatever, tickle my bag. So I just wanted to come in here and talk a little bit about it and kind of address some of the comments that I got, maybe answer some questions about my position on it, how I think about it, whatever. But what made me laugh is like 5 minutes ago I got this comment where this guy goes, "I used to love your stuff, but now I know you're a paid shill. You might as well go get the juice." And all I have to say is hilarious. Thank you so much for that one. First of all, I don't even understand, number one, how these two things are related. What does the juice have anything to do with cryptoclams, number one? Number two, whom am I a paid shill to? I was just curious who this human they, whose icon is a cartoon character, go figure, who could have predicted that, is saying that I'm a paid shill. First of all, who am I a paid shill to? I literally sell t-shirts. I sell No More Face Diapers t-shirts. I sell badges on Instagram. I make a couple simoleons by making some videos. It's not like I'm out here getting paid by freaking, the powers that be. So I don't even know who I'm supposedly a paid shill to. Like the Federal Reserve Bank is like paying me off. They're like, tell people not to get into crypto. This single guy with 70,000. This guy with 75,000 followers is going to somehow change the global financial cataclysm, and all of a sudden, or the global financial zeitgeist, and this guy is going to thwart all the crypto nuts. It's like, all right, what kind of investment would that be to pay me to do that? But all right, they're like, pay Bobbo sauce, he'll do it. It's like, what are you even talking about? I love when people just drop into the comments and just slam me with stuff like that. It's like, all right. Meanwhile, they have a private account with 60 followers, and they're just like, you shill. It's like, first of all, you're a cartoon character. You're not even using your name. Your account's private. No one even knows who you are. Like, what are you even talking about? They're just like, I'm mad at myself. I'm hurting inside. It's like, first of all, who hurt you? Second of all, I don't even know what to tell you, Jack, but all right. It's like, do you know where Gabby Petito is? But I'm just curious. The guy's like, he's like, I have 7,000 shares of Dogecoin. It's like, all right. Yeah. And then like the people that are in the comments that are just like, you don't get it. Yeah. It's like, All right, well, if I don't get it, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I am a child of the internet. I did get my first computer when I was 7 years old, started learning about RAM sticks when I was in middle school. I built 1,500 websites. I use a computer every single day. I got 10 monitors in here. If anybody understands the basic tenets of the internet and how this piece of technology works, I'm just saying it might be me, but whatever. I've known about Bitcoin for a number of different years. I've owned Bitcoin, I've owned Ether, I've owned Litecoin. I've had my paws in there, and I was just like, I don't know. This is the best place to park my Joey airborne balloon fiat bucks. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to keep people aware of what could potentially happen. I own a lot of stock in Facebook, for example, because it's an actual real company with intellectual property that I'm using right now that's creating focus, attention, financial transactions. I like real companies with real assets. Like, sorry, tickle my bag, but okay. It's just like, I don't know what to tell you, but whatever. Sorry. They're just like, oh, Bitclam, like, I'm sold on it. Buy my Bitcoin course. It's like, okay. Yeah, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm not saying that cryptocurrency is bad, but like these guys that are like foaming at the mouth anytime something about crypto comes up, it's like, number one, it's confirmation bias. Like I want to know that everybody agrees that I put my money in a safe and logical place. And number two, buy my course, I just want to help you buy my course, buy my how to invest in Ether, fight the big banks. Like the big banks don't have probably thousands of Bitcoins themselves. There's like a couple of different whales that own 50% of the Bitcoin market. And you're going to think that that supposedly all the international banking cartels that have had more money than freaking God for the last 150 years are going to see this 500,000 miles away. All they want to do is take over the world, and they can't possibly identify Bitclam. There was documentaries about it, videos about it, thousands of videos about it. You think these people are intelligent enough to see a potential bubble that they could then inflate and then get out of and demonize? It's like, what do you talk? They're like, oh, they're planning a multi-100-year intergenerational cross-pollination, super rich, ultra rich family. They're meeting on secret islands, planning the future of the world 1,000 years in advance. Tesla's grandfather and Donnie Baseball are living in a pineapple under the sea, commuting through Starlink, through a chip in Elon Musk's brain to create Satoshi Nakamoto from nothing. He was born in a test tube with Barack. They were both born in a test tube. One's the president. One creates an international super currency, but they can't figure out how to goose the Bitcoin system. They somehow got foiled there. And a bunch of jabrons that sell crypto courses on Instagram somehow foiled this multi-100,000-year freaking plan. All right. Oh, it's how you escape the banking system. Is it how you escape the banking system? Because number one, you have no idea who owns those. Two, you have no idea who's manipulating it. Three, doesn't even have the basic regulations that any other financial system is. Quite frankly, it's probably more ripe for manipulation than any financial system in the history of time. But all right, yeah. Oh, you foiled it in your 5 hours a week researching. Oh, I saw it on HBO. It's like, okay, I'm just saying, it's like, everybody comes quick to come at me, and it's like, dog, first of all, you don't know anything about me. Second of all, why don't you just keep that position and do it to yourself? All I'm trying to do is inform people, because that's what I do. I'm just saying, I'm not saying buy it, don't buy it. You're entitled to a decision, but they're like, you're a shill. It's like, am I though? Am I? It's like, maybe you're a shill. Maybe you're the one that's in a trap, my guy. But no, I used to like your stuff, but you're a shill. It's like, all right. Okay, it's like, sorry that I hurt you so bad. I have my life savings in Dogecoin. It's like, all right, bro, what are you going to do with that? And I hope you make $1 million. I hope you make $1 quadrillion. I really hope you do. I hope you make more money than any person's ever made in the history of time. And am I going to be slapping myself for not riding that train to the moon, to Jupiter, to the Milky Way galaxy? Yeah, maybe, dog. But like, before you get aggro in my comments, maybe just keep it to yourself and get rich and laugh in my face. Wouldn't that be a much better way of getting back at stupid Bobbo Sauce? What's he trying to do? Help people? What a prick. It's like, all right, Jack. It's like, sorry that I literally prefaced it in the video. I took I submitted a 15-minute video. It took me an hour and a half to shoot, thinking about how I was going to deliver this in a way that didn't freak people out. And they're just like, you suck. It's like, all right. Meanwhile, their handle is crypto course 7006 upside down backwards Z. It's like, all right, you go to their page. It's like Bitcoin, Bitclam, Dogecoin, to the moon, hodl me, mom, hodl me close. It's like, okay, dog, I don't know what to tell you, but one of us might be a little bit of bias, Jack. I used to have cryptocurrencies. I used to invest in them. I just realized that it probably wasn't right for my portfolio, Bill. I'm just saying, you're out here just like, no. I'm just trying to inform people. I didn't tell them. If you please rewatch the video, maybe you would understand the context in which I'm saying it. But no, who wants to do that? They're just going to jump in the comments and be like, oh, goo. You're a paid Shill. It's like, am I though? If every single person was going to make $1 quadrillion in Bitclam, don't you just think that somebody 500 times richer than you would just come in and scoop it all up and wait? But all right. But somehow, like, your average Joe that has 3 Bitcoins is going to, like, take over the planet. All right. Meanwhile, they're all bankrolling off of it. They could all conspire and they could all legally conspire in a small group of people that own 50,000 Bitcoins, and they could just pump it, dump it, pump it, dump it, pump it, dump it every single time. They could do whatever they want, but whatever. Okay, you're fighting the power. Fine. I'm just saying, like, don't come at me with the vitriol and the anger. It's like, I'm not coming at you. I'm just trying to keep people informed. Okay, whatever. I'm just trying to tell people what I see and trying to inform them. I'm not trying to tell them what to do or what not to do. And I even said in the video, I could be wrong. So whatever. But no, everybody's very aggro. Everybody's very upset about it and freaking out. But okay. Like, you're entitled to your beliefs, and that's fine. People are very mad. Anyways, thanks to everybody for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks for tickling my bag. Some of the comments. So I just kind of wanted to, like, answer a couple of questions. Maybe answer some questions from here in the chat. I wanted to kind of address some of the comments that appeared on the video itself and see if I could give some direct responses to them, because again, for the 5 billionth time, I'm not saying that I'm necessarily correct about this. I'm just trying to give you a perspective as to what I see so that you can make the correct decision about your finances. People ask me about this stuff. I want you to win. I want all of us to win. I think that everybody in our circle should have more financial power and more financial authority. I think that's better for the world, better for all of us. We all win together. There's plenty for everybody to eat. I'm just trying to help you win, because by helping you win, I help myself win. We all win. The last thing that I want is to tee you up to some place where you could potentially lose your cash. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you something that I don't believe to be true. I'm just going to tell you how I see it. You take it with a grain of salt, do whatever you want. What do I know? It's not financial advice. I'm just some guy in a diaper shirt yelling in his house. It's like, I don't know what to tell you, but that's just what I know. Whatever. I've been looking at it for a long time. These are just my opinions. Do whatever you want. Okay, cool, great, grand, wonderful. No yelling on the bus. Anyways, great. People are like, oh, who paid you? It's like literally 0 people. Dead Pedal Coffee paid me to talk to you about coffee a couple times. It's like, all right, everyone's mad. Everyone's very mad. Which video was it? The video I posted today called Crypto Musical Chairs. I posted it earlier today. Thank you, everybody that's been buying the badges on the gram here. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for your continued patronage. I very much appreciate it. You guys help me keep the channel going and broadcast as much as possible. So thank you so much. People like the Billy Madison references. I appreciate that. What's going on, everybody? I see a lot of familiar faces in here. Appreciate you guys being here. Hope everybody's having a nice Sundal. I wanted to thank Christine for joining the Patreon yesterday. Thank you so much, Christine. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining the Patreon. I saw an order come in earlier from Michelle and from Lisa on bobbysauce.com. Thank you guys both for the orders on the site. I really appreciate it so much. Thank you. Somebody says we help pay you so you can piss people off. That's awesome. Appreciate that. That's what I'm trying to do out here, make everybody furious. Thanks to everybody that's been buying the badges so far. Appreciate you. Carlos NYC Bus. I see you buying badges a bunch of times. MZ Loves Samara, Lana Liberty 1, NIUMT 2009, Arjon 1602, Sheree Dot Dot, Abby 208, the Megan Hayward, Chooks Official, Rachel Singer, Jay Flutie 16, and Mishka Kamars. Thank you guys so much for the badges on the gram. I appreciate it. What's up, Jesse on YouTube? How's it going? What's up, Facebook people? So, look, I wanted to go. Thank you, Lisa, for the badge. Janet, I'm in a hot bath listening, no reading chats. All right, cool. So it was interesting. I would encourage everybody that has not already watched the video to watch it when you get off the stream tonight. Also, I want everybody to know that every video that I make on Instagram also appears on my Facebook as well as on my YouTube channel. I also place all of the videos in the Patreon as well so that people can access them there. So it's everywhere. You can see it wherever you want. If you ever encounter a situation where it doesn't work on Instagram, please feel free to go watch it on Facebook or YouTube. If you don't subscribe on YouTube or Facebook, please make sure that you go and subscribe there. Thank you, Carlos. Carlos said you are. So I wanted to read through a couple of the comments that were on the video, and we can kind of start there, and then I can answer some questions if anybody's got some questions. If not, I'll just kind of go along with what I see here. So one of the comments was from my friend Gabby. She said, I don't base my investments off of China. Also, I don't base my investments off of China. Just want to clarify that. Not sure where anybody could have drawn that conclusion that I'm basing all of my investments off of China or really any investments off China. I was just using the example of China doing this to their citizenry, aka the second largest economy in the entire world, soon to be the largest economy in the entire world. And I'm just saying, if China can do this to their people, this is how they did it. This is how it could be done here. Not that it's gonna happen here, but this is how it would be done if it could be done, and it will be done. It will be done in this way. I'm just using China as the most relevant and recent example of this happening and how they sell it. I understand that China is communist. I understand they basically are in a dictatorship. I understand that we are not China, but I'm not basing my investments off China. That was just the most relevant recent example that made sense to me as to how they will sell it to us in the future and how they will sell it to the remainder of the Western world. Plus, as goes one country, so can go another. It's just a test case. It's a use case. It's an example. It's just how one country is able to demonize it and what they do as a result. That's what China did. I'm not basing my investments off China. The next thing that she said in the comment is it's good to have diversity and support a new economy that doesn't involve the Rothschilds and the Feds. Okay, it's good to have a diversity. I agree with that. I completely agree with having diversity. A diversified portfolio gives you great stability in the long and short term, just in case one goes up and another one doesn't. Okay, that's fine. Support a new economy. Okay, yeah, I'm all for supporting new economies. With new economies come risks. This particular situation, I don't know that it's necessarily an economy as much as it is just a risk investment in a series of corporations, companies, and other risk assets surrounding it in a similar kind of genre. But I don't know that it's an economy necessarily. Maybe it is, but okay, let's just say that it is. And then it doesn't involve the Rothschilds and the Feds. Okay. You don't know that the Rothschilds are not invested in cryptocurrency. Those guys have more money than anybody has. You're telling me that they haven't diversified a little of their portfolio into crypto? They could put 1/10 of 1% of their money into crypto and probably artificially inflate and deflate the value of that currency with 2 or 3 of their friends at any time. They might have more control over Bitcoin than any other currency in the world that we don't even know about. It's just like the smart business people and smart financial people understand that in order to win, you buy Pepsi and Coke. You don't buy just Pepsi and hope it wins. You buy Pepsi and Coke. You buy both sides of the coin so you win no matter what. So I'm not saying that I know of any involvement that they have in this particular financial structure. I'm just saying you don't know that they're in that financial structure either. You also, and okay, it doesn't involve the Fed. Okay, cool. It also does involve the Fed because it's actual U.S. fiat currency that's going in and being put into a pool. It's going somewhere, and then it comes back out and gets changed into USD or some other currency so that people can pay for taxes, buy gasoline, buy property, buy a home, pay for a variety of different things. You can't buy an airplane ticket in freaking Bitcoin, but whatever. I'm just saying it also still does involve them, but all right. Okay, it doesn't involve them, but it also does. But okay, I'm just saying it does, but whatever. Some other people, let's see some of the other comments. Some people said I couldn't agree more with you on this. I believe it's a trap. I'm not saying it's completely a trap. I'm just saying it could be a trap. I don't know. I think a far better investment is in yourself, in real assets, tangible assets, businesses, stocks in local businesses. Invest in people, invest in property, invest in your home, invest in the things around you. You could buy gold, you could buy silver, you could buy platinum, you could buy jewelry, you could buy a variety of different things. You could buy Rolex watches, you could buy antique cars, whatever you want. You could buy art. There's a lot of different things that you can invest in. There's a lot of different investment vehicles. I just don't know that this one is the best one. Of all the different investment vehicles that exist in the world, I'm not saying that crypto is the best one. In fact, I would say that it's probably one of the more riskier ones. Just because people are making money now doesn't mean they're going to make money in the future. It's musical chairs. You're playing musical chairs until the music stops. No one is worried while the music's playing, and then it stops. Then you have no chair. That's how musical chairs work. It's not a game till it's over. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say, is that in the event that there was some massive crypto implosion, it would not happen slowly over a series of time. It wouldn't happen like no thing that could grow 55,000% that grows at an exponential clip never before seen by any financial instrument in the history of time, that could grow so fast and so instant and ripple around the entire planet like this. No one has ever seen something that works at that fast of a clip. We're in a different time right now. So if you think that Bitcoin's just going to fall a slow slope of hope to its demise, it's not. You're going to wake up one day, maybe, I don't know, just my opinion, but you're going to wake up and your $50,000 is going to be $50. I'm just saying it's going to happen like this, and by then it's too late. It's musical chairs. That's my point. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying it could happen. The probability that you wake up and Facebook, the Facebook Corporation, Facebook Inc., goes from hundreds of billions of dollars in assets to something that's worth a fraction of $1 billion in one day is nearly impossible. Fractional, the subset of a subset of a subset of a subset of probability. They got businesses, assets, cash flow, customers, intellectual property, and customers, data, a variety of different things that expand across the entire planet. Hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of employees. You're talking about compare something like the corporation of Facebook Inc. v. Bitcoin. These are not even close to comparable things. I'm just saying that an investment in a tangible business, a cash flowing business, is a considerably more valuable, safe, trustworthy, short and long-term investment than an invisible string of numbers from Satoshi Nakamoto that no one even knows what it is, where it's going to be in 10 years. I'm saying you could get rich. You might get rich. I hope you get rich. I really do. I'm just saying that there's not a lot of correlations in the real financial world where it goes from this to zero overnight. And that's exactly what would happen if the federal government or some of the developed world was to come out and say, this is used for terrorism. We're not allowing it anymore. It's banned. It would be like, boom, boom, like just like that. Musical chairs, game is over. You're clapped, dog. That's not going to happen. It's highly improbable with a large corporation like Facebook, Microsoft, Google, Shopify, or some other large business. These companies have assets, data, customers, cash flow, revenue, property, vehicles, buildings, real tangible processes that could be sold off to another. It's like, it's not air. And look, of all people that can understand how a non-tangible asset could be worth money. People are like, you don't get it. You got to touch it and feel it. That's why because you're a boomer. First of all, I'm not a boomer. I'm 34. It has nothing to do with being a boomer or touching and feeling. All 95% of my assets, probably 90% of my investment assets, not including my house, are in digital, non-tangible items like software. I don't own like trucking companies. I own Facebook, Shopify, software, literally nothingness, nothingness. But they have customers, they have businesses, they have processes, they have employees, they have intellectual property, they have a variety of different other things that make them a tangible asset that will grow over time. They have real money, real impact, things that are happening, people that are transacting, people that are using them to accumulate output and develop wealth. Crypto is just a promise to pay in the future that some greater fool will pay you more money for it with the hope that it will go up. And it only goes up by more people buying into the theory that it will go up and hopefully banking on that promise to pay in the future that it will be worth more than they said right now. I'm just saying, do whatever you want. I'm just saying the probability of a more ironclad investment over the course of your lifetime, I think that it's a lot better if you took $10,000 and bought $10,000 worth of Facebook stock versus $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. I think 20 years from now, you'd have a whole heck of a lot more money if you bought Facebook stock. I'm not trying to isolate Facebook stock. I'm just saying Facebook to me has a lot more value long-term than I think Bitcoin does. I can look at the business of Facebook. We're on it right now. They're literally consuming our attention as we speak. You're going to say that this is more useful, is less useful than a Bitcoin? You don't understand what I'm saying? This is a real business with real output, real leaders that are running and controlling and operating it through. That's all I'm trying to say. So it's like, I think that an investment in a company like Facebook, Shopify, Uber, and if you want to say one of the big software companies, okay, fine. You could say Apple, whatever. Those are going to be far better investments, far safer investments. An investment in a stock like Facebook or Google is far more akin to digital gold than freaking Bitcoin. But people are like, it's gold, it's gold. Is that why every single time you see a Bitcoin, it's depicted as a literal gold coin? When A, it's not gold, B, it's not a coin, C, it's literal nothingness. That's the illusion. They want you to buy that so bad. And anybody that's already invested, anybody that has investments in it, needs that confirmation bias to validate that their decision was the correct one. Yeah, like Robert's on Facebook, you're wrong in all caps. Cool, Robert, this is my opinion. If it's an opinion, I'm not wrong. You're not wrong. This is just my opinion. This is not a matter of fact. Okay, this is just my opinion on the matter. If you think I'm wrong, that's fine. You could tell that to your audience, Robert. This is just my opinion on it because I'm trying to show people how I look at it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not a financial expert. This is just what I see. Do whatever you want, but don't be like, you're wrong. Maybe you're wrong, Robert. And quite frankly, at this moment, no one's listening to you, but they are listening to me. It's not because I'm better. It's just that's the perspective that they want. Okay, do whatever you want. I'm not acting like I'm holier than thou. This is just my view on the matter. Okay, Robert says, I made way more on crypto than I did in stocks in 20 years. Well, maybe you picked the wrong stocks, Robert. Maybe you bought at the wrong time, Robert. And just because you made more money in something in the short term doesn't mean it's more valuable in the long term. Just because you make money in something doesn't mean that it's valuable long term. You could have made a whole lot of money buying heroin as well. I'm just saying, do whatever you want. Like, people get very touchy and feely about this. They're very aggro and angry. No, it's like, okay, fine. That's your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, dog. This is just my perspective. Okay? I understand that the banking system is a bad place. I understand that a lot of people have control of it. I'm just saying, unless you're waking up, eating, sleeping, breathing, and taking your spare $5,000 to put it into Bitclam and watch every single piece of information that goes up and down as the day moves, as the information comes, and you got to stay on top of it. I'm just saying you'd probably do a little bit better off taking that $5,000 and buying a traditional asset, or buying an asset, or putting it in a money market account at your local bank. I'm just saying, I don't know that that's the best thing for everyday average people to invest in. Do whatever you want. I'm just trying to give people the perspective that it took me years to realize. Do you think that I just came to this conclusion a week ago and I'm like, let me go on here and yell about it? No, I've done a whole lot of research about how I care about this, about how I care about myself and my own finances. And I work really hard to make money. I want to preserve it, and I want everybody else to preserve it. I try to put out the best quality content so that the people around me can succeed. This is just my perspective. That's what I'm giving you. You want to hate on it? That's fine. You think it's wrong? That's fine. That's fine. I'm just saying, don't be like, you're wrong. It's like, okay, fine. You think I'm wrong. That's fine. Only time will tell. And I'm willing to eat that. I'm literally putting it on video and emblazoning it in time. And we'll see who's right 5 years from now. Maybe you are, and maybe you could ride circles around me in your drop top Bentley GT, and I'll be riding a bicycle. Fine. I hope that happens. And he's like, not all crypto is worthless. I never said all crypto is worthless. Robert, please watch the video. Like, what are you doing, bro? Watch the full video, for the love of Christmas. You said all crypto is worthless. No, I didn't. Somebody said Joe Juggler Sable. That's hilarious. Who hurt me? You hurt me. You made me like this. One of the other comments, they can't track or control it. Yes, they can. Number one, they can control it by outlawing it and making it illegal. It's quite easy for them to control it. How do you think you're transacting? Oh, using the internet? Where do you think that internet connection comes from? Where do you think your IP address routes to? Where do you think you're getting your internet services from? What do you have an internet device in your pocket that connects to nothingness? You have your own individual tower. You're more traced now with cryptocurrency than you were ever traced with anything ever in the history of time, bro. You could take a gold bar and you could go behind it in a dark alleyway and hand somebody a gold bar. That's untraceable. This is more traceable than anything has ever been done ever. But all of a sudden it's untraceable. Okay, they could track it probably better than they could track anything that's ever existed ever. But all right. They can't control it. Yeah, they can control it. They just controlled it. They've taken Bitcoin away from people in legal cases a number of different times, and they just controlled it in China. But okay, fine, whatever. All right, okay, they can't control it and track it, except they control it and track it. But all right. Somebody said, bro, this is like the 300th time China has banned Bitcoin. No, it's not. First of all, it's not the 300th time. They have talked about banning aspects of it multiple times, which I'm more than aware of. But they're just getting increasingly more aggressive. I'm not suggesting that this is the end all be all. I'm just saying they're increasing in aggressiveness. This is their target. Consider it a warning, Jack. Paul Revere, the Chinese are coming. I'm just saying, do whatever you want. It's just like you could say Paul Revere could ride by on his horse and be like, yo, dog, the British are coming. You're like, what? Who told you that, Donnie? Who told you that, you paid shill? And Paul Revere's like, okay, gallop, 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 deuces, fam. Meanwhile, you're just sitting there with your thumb in your anus, just like sitting on your dirt star watching a candle melt, and then you get clapped by the British. I'm just saying, do whatever you want. I'm just saying Paul Revere didn't have a dog in that fight. He was like, dog, they're coming. I'm about to ride through and clip-clop to the next person, but whatever, do whatever you want. It's like, okay, cool. I'm just saying it's musical chairs. Musical chairs doesn't look like the music's playing until it's not. Do whatever you want. Somebody said crypto being illegal kind of makes it more desirable. Just because it's more desirable doesn't mean that it's a worthy long-term investment. Okay, maybe it's desirable, but it's not so desirable to all the people that don't want to commit crimes. That's like saying making murder illegal makes it more desirable. Yeah, I guess, but does it though? It's like, oh, I wasn't thinking about murdering someone, but it's illegal now. That's so trendy. Let's go hide out behind the school and kill a person. It's like, no, I don't know about that, but okay. I don't know that applies all the way through, but whatever, tickle my bag. Someone says it matters there, but they also ban things like Netflix, Wikipedia. Yeah, okay, fine. I understand. And like I've said multiple times, I'm not saying that this is only China. I'm just saying the way that they are selling it as a way of protecting other people's assets, it's a threat. That's how it's going to be sold in the event that it does need to get sold to the rest of the developed world. That's all I'm saying. It's not about China. I'm not taking my marching orders from Xi. I'm just saying that's how they would do it in the event that they did it. And to think that they're not trying to get there, that they're just going to let the entire financial system be foiled by a bunch of people with Bitcoins, and every single person that's been hodling Bitcoins on a flash drive for the last 5 years is going to suddenly have $1 million of Bitcoin, and the entire financial polarity of the entire world is going to be shifted onto the back of Bitcoin, and all of a sudden we're going to be serfs among Bitcoin kings and queens that are just going to run the entire planet. Are you joking, dog? They print money out of thin air. And they're gonna bow down to a digital string of numbers run by Shikoshima Natamoto. Okay, yeah, maybe. I don't know, but maybe.
A very melodic and uplifting peak time record there from Garland, entitled Finally. Saturday we have our Purified event at Echo Stage in Washington. And then on Sunday, I'm super excited to be back at Space in Miami. As ever, be sure to check my socials for the full details, and I'll go.
And China and California, what up, Ian? California has already put different rules into place to start preventing people from mining Bitcoins and purchasing high-powered computer rigs that can mine Bitcoins in. Can you say that name? Satoshi Nakamoto. Anyways. In California, they made rules about buying certain capacity computer rigs that are typically used to mine Bitcoins, mine cryptocurrencies, high processing machines, because they use too much power. So if California can say, oh, this is an environmental threat that these computers are using so much processing power, they could just be like, we have to do it to save the earth. All I'm trying to say is people are so crazy. It's like, you're going to think, look, they convinced people that I posted this in my story before. They convinced people that horse reins are whips and that people are whipping people with horse reins. The person that took the photo said, that's not what it was. The photo's misconstrued. There's videos going around on the internet of them not doing this. Yet all the politicians have been like, it's whips, it's slavery, it's all these bad things, very bad, everybody be mad. And then the truth comes out and they still are saying it. They're still saying it. And you mean to tell me that if they can't convince every single person on the planet that these people, that there's video of them not whipping people, that they're not going to be able to convince people that Bitcoin is not an environmental threat? Are you joking? Most people don't even know what Bitcoin is. They're just going to be like, Bitcoin is used for terrorism and drug trade and trafficking and whatever else. And they're going to be like, yeah, and they're gonna be like, damn, do it. Give me my 7 like, give me, like, feed me the juice and take the Bitclams, and everyone's gonna love it. But they can convince people that a horse rein is a whip, but you don't think they can convince them that Bitcoin is bad? All right. Okay, I think you're grossly underestimating the emotional manipulation power of the people that are literally convincing people to put diapers on their children in school all day. What do you mean? They can't convince them that Bitcoin's bad? You're out of your gourd, Jack. Oh, how are they going to do that? Oh, I don't know, by just saying it on CNN. They're going to be like, Bitcoin represents white supremacy and gigak, and just like that, it's going to be toast. But all right, they just can convince them about every single other thing under the sun. It's like, are you joking? They told people that Larry Elder, a person of color, is the black face of white suprem. And people are like, heck yeah, he is. And you think they can't convince them that Bitcoin's bad? What are you talking about, dog? Are you joking? It's like, they'll never convince them of that. It's like, all right. Yeah, exactly. Linking it to exactly. Eat is exactly. They'll just come up with a way. They'll be like, it's bad for the environment. It's used for terrorism. They're using the people are using, the very bad people are using it. And just like that, it's toast, Bill. You toast. It's like, all right. And people are like, but I made more money on it. Okay. There's a lot of ways to make money, Jack. Oh, man, they're like Larry Elder. They convinced people that there was a deadly insurrection on the 6th when no one died except for the person that was coming in the door. They're just like, deadly insurrection. It's like 1,000 headlines. Deadly insurrection, darkest day in history ever. America under siege. They made documentaries about it, and there's literally videos of people they're walking through the red robes inside. They're like, oh, can I just go to the bathroom real quick? They're like, no problem. They put them in solitary confinement for 9 months. These people are in prison. They never done anything in their life, and you think they're not going to be able to convince people that Bitcoin's bad? You're out of your mind. But whatever, though. All right. Oh, yeah, they're going to be able to see through that. They're going to be like, no, this is it. This is it, guys. They're coming for the Bitclam. Let's suddenly stand up for America. You're out of your mind. There's like people getting clapped left and right. They're taking the juice. They got a heart condition. They're 16 years old. They can't play soccer anymore. They're on video. They're like, yo, I can't play sports anymore. I got this juice. And people are like, no, take the juice. But somehow they're going to be able to convince them out of Bitcoin. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. But okay. All right. They've only been able to convince them of every single other thing ever forever. But all right. This is so easy. It'd be so much easier than every single other thing they've ever done. But all right. Like, any person could look at a freaking horse rein and be like, that's not a whip. And they're just like, whipped. It's like, no. What's her face? Maxine Sewers is like, it's worse than slavery. It's like, is it worse than slavery, Maxine? Like, what are you talking about? And people are like, it's worse than slavery. People are clueless. It's like, I'm just saying, people are putting their children in a diaper all day long, and they're going to stand up and fight for their rights because they're saying that Bitclam is illegal. People are like, I'm going to put it on a flash drive and shove it up my poop chute, and then do what? Go to El Salvador, like the murder capital of the planet. Yeah, good luck in El Salvador, dog. Like, okay, I hope you have a lot of prosperity there. I'm just saying, I'm all for the crypto. It has a lot of different benefits. There's a lot of things that the blockchain is doing. I'm not saying it's bad. All I'm saying is you might wake up one day and it gets clapped, bro. I'm just saying the probability of Facebook Inc. or Shopify Inc. or some other large corporation like a software corporation or whatever you choose to invest in, the probability of that going to zero is considerably less than them just saying Bitcoin's illegal. The probability of the federal government coming out one day and being like, Facebook is illegal is very low, dog. It's certainly lower than it is saying Bitcoin's illegal. I'm just saying these are not comparable things. And everyone's just like, buy my crypto course. It's like, if you're so good at crypto, why wouldn't you just go make $50 billion in crypto and then just buzz off to Fiji for the rest of your life? You have to sell a course for $29.99. Give me a break. It's like, all right. It's like taking a business advice from people that don't have a successful business. It's like your business is selling business advice. Okay, I'm just saying. It's like I'm just trying to cut people off at the pass before they get literally clapped. I have people that I know, friends in my social circle, that are taking a spare $500 and buying Dogecoin with it. They're like, AMC to the moon. I'm like, dog, buy some stocks, like buy some Facebook stock, buy a couple shares of Shopify, dog. I'm just saying, like, I don't know about buying Dogecoin with your spare 500. Meanwhile, they don't own a house, they don't own a condo, they don't own a luxury watch, they don't own any art, they don't even own their car. Yet they put 500 clams to this. They got $30,000 of student loan debt, and they're out here buying Bitclam because all these people are on here like, you'll be rich, it'll be worth $7 billion a coin. It's how you stick it to the financial god. It's like, no, it's not. It's how you get freaking clapped. It's how you sell a book of goods to a bunch of people that don't understand the most basic of the financial system and basic economics. If you don't understand basic economics, like $15 an hour is a bad idea as a federal minimum wage. If you don't understand that, how in the fudge brownie sandwich are you going to understand how Bitcoin is going to translate in the next 15 years of time? Are you out of your gourd? I'm just saying, it's like, I'm just giving you a perspective, trying to help people, and people are like, no, it's not. It's like, okay, well then it's like if you're out here selling crypto and you don't have 95% of your assets in cryptocurrency, then I don't think you have any position to say anything to anybody. You either believe it or you don't. And the reason that you don't have all your assets in crypto is because it's a risk asset. You're rolling the dice. It's gambling, dog. It's not an asset. It's an asset. It's a risk asset. A highly, highly speculative risk asset. Okay? That's all I'm trying to say. No. Somebody said in the thing, oh God, I'm getting worked up, Jack. I got a high blood pressure. Oh man, what else we got in the comments? China banning Bitclam has historically been a great time to buy. They've tried and announced that they are banning it many times since 2003. Yeah, I understand. It's a great time to buy. It's a great time to buy because it goes down. And people are sure that it's going to go back up. And it will go back up till it doesn't go back up. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm not saying that this is going to happen tomorrow, next week, a couple months from now. It may not happen ever. I'm just saying you might have a couple of better investments that you could put them into. Buy Verizon stock, for example. Verizon stock pays a greasy 4.3% dividend. Every single quarter, I get 4.3% of my total 4.3% of the annual investment paid out every quarter for having money in Verizon stock. Verizon, it's probably a whole lot less likely that they're going to come out and say Verizon is illegal. Cell phone towers are illegal. Does everybody agree that 5 years from now, more people are going to use cell phones? Does everybody agree that 5 years from now, more time is going to be spent on a cell phone? Does everybody agree that Verizon has high quality service that's been around for a really long time? It's the comparable. It's the Coke and Pepsi to AT&T. A lot of people like Verizon more than they like AT&T. So it has long-term stability. They're building towers. They're investing in it. It's a large corporation that generates a ton of cash. So much cash, in fact, that they pay a dividend out every quarter, which means that they're so well invested that they have extra cash to give back to the shareholders. On top of that, Verizon has made a variety of different investments into media companies. When they found out that the media companies didn't work, they sold the asset. They stayed back to their core business. This is a demonstration of a high-quality, long-term, long-lasting, highly profitable technology company that is likely to grow over the long term. It's just one of many examples. The probability of Verizon being illegal versus Bitcoin being illegal is like 1 in a million. I'm just saying there's a lot of different things that you could do with your money. That's all. Okay? You might make $2 quadrillion, but you could also play the lottery. There's a lot of ways to do this. I'm just saying that for every single person out there, it's probably not the best. Maybe if you have a little bit of discretionary income that you want to just throw a gamble at it, buy a couple of lottery tickets, fine, have fun with it. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying there's a lot of other things that most people could invest in, and it kills me to see people be like, it's going to Pluto. It's like, yeah, maybe, but probably not, Jack. But maybe, I don't know. But whatever, who cares? I'm just a guy yelling at his phone. Somebody said guns and gold. Sure, that's gun has a practical application. You can use it to protect itself. I don't know how guns retain their value over the long term, but I would wager that it probably retains its value. It doesn't it's not going to erode very quickly. Gold has historically been used as currency for thousands of years, so you're probably pretty safe with gold. Yes, I'm not saying that you should buy gold, put it in a bar, and stick it in your dirt star and sit on it for 20 years. I'm not saying you should have it in a safe in a secret undescribed location or under your bed, but it might not be a bad idea to have some. I'm not saying that you should buy gold or not. It's not an argument about gold. It's just an argument about crypto and Bitcoin in general. How you decide to spend your money is whatever. I'm just saying if you're a young person, if you're a person in the 30s, for example, I think that buying, for example, US-based or Canadian-based or other stocks or other assets, or buying a piece of a local company, a local pizza shop, a local whatever, and investing in those businesses over the long term will probably pay you a whole lot better than hoping and praying that that Bitclam is going to pay you out in 25 years and you're going to have $1 billion. Maybe you will. I hope you do. I hope you make money. I hope you get stacked to the gills and you make me look like an idiot. I'm just saying I don't think so, but maybe, but I don't know. Yeah, like you could buy property, you could buy a variety of different things. So, okay, so I got another one. Somebody said, let's look at this guy's page. Of course, another private account, whatever, it doesn't even matter. Okay. Wrong one on this one, my guy, but you do bring up good points about what would become FedCoin. Governments banning Bitcoin or other cryptos only prove its use case. Okay, well, governments, they also banned heroin, but I guess that proves its use case, but okay. As long as we have the internet, we'll have crypto. Yeah, maybe we'll have some sort of digital asset that can be traded for other digital assets. Sure. Okay. No one's saying that there will not be any crypto. It's just a matter of time before it becomes fully integrated in some way. Yeah, the way it's going to become fully integrated is the Federal Reserve Bank is going to create its own digital asset, its own digital coin, and so will a variety of other developed nations. And that'll be the digital currency of the future. This is the use case. This is the test. And then once they realize how to do it more efficiently for less money, more efficient and more effectively with the backing of a fiat currency or the U.S. government, they're going to clown all of these other cryptos and they're going to move them right out of the water. But here's the other thing that comes as a risk of the government having this Fed coin. If you take the banks out of the equation, that means the government has complete control over your currency. You take the government out, now you have socialized money. Now you have socialism bucks, which presents a great threat in and of itself. So now the Fed is producing its coins directly. It doesn't even have to deposit them into a private banking institution, and they can outprice any banking institution's transactional fees. Now everybody's just using Fed bucks. And then you have some dissent against the structure. You have some dissent about how things are going. They don't like what you're saying or like what you're doing. Gagak, you're just like that. Your card don't work. You're clapped. All those financial institutions disappear. People, as much as people hate on financial institutions, people fail to realize that financial institutions do a whole lot of great stuff for people. As much as you want to say that they're evil and bad and this and that, I live in a house right now that's owned by the bank. And so do you. So do you. I would bet 95 to 99% of the people that are in this chat right now own a property or are inside a property right now that is owned primarily by a bank. That bank put that money up because they made sure that you would have a promise to pay in the future. And they make a narrow margin for doing so. 2 points, 2.5 points, the lowest percentage they've ever made in history. But everyone's like so aggro at the banks. It's like banks also provide a lot of investments that businesses use to grow. Doesn't mean they're not ripe with corruption. Doesn't mean that they're not controlled and rigged in a lot of ways. But if you think that a bunch of different banks competing against each other is going to be worse than one centralized federal gov coin, it's like, all right, I don't know about that, Bill, but whatever. You can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and put it up your anus. Joanna says she's a homeowner. That's great. Now, if you really wanted to unlock the value of your home, if you wanted to use the money that's inside your home, like you wanted to say, hey, I own a house that's worth $350,000, but all I have is this house and I'm inside of it, it's not creating any cash flow. What you would do is you would go take out a home equity loan against the value of your home. You would put your home up as collateral and you would use the value of your home as the collateral in which you can borrow upon at a very, very low rate, a historically low rate. And then what you would do from that money that you saved in that house, the bank would extend you the credit via a home equity and the processes that they put in place and the small margin that they get from it. And you would use that money to go invest in cash flowing assets, or you would go buy another house and then it would be owned by the bank. I'm just saying, like, the banking institution being a private competitive environment is good. Banks pop up all the time. And yes, big banks eat up smaller banks, but then more banks come. Every single person in here knows of a local bank or a local credit union that does a really good job with their money. Maybe gives them a little bit of extra cash. A federal credit union, a local bank. That bank might get eaten up by some other business, but you got to use your money to work for you. Money that sits is objectively losing value. You need to reinvest it. You need to buy cash flow. So the banks provide a lot of that liquidity that allows for there to be that cash flow. So if you take all that stuff away and you put everything in the control of the Fed coin, you're Scrooged, Bill. It's just like you're giving even more power. So the Bitcoin is just going to usher in this theoretical, is going to take us down this path to theoretically more control. It's going to have the equal and opposite effect. Yet all these people that think that they're fighting the power, they're fighting the big bad banking cartels by being in Bitcoin. You're going to wake up one day and you might end up getting gassed or goosed. I don't mean gas like poison gas. I'm just saying you might get screwed. Whatever, though. I'm just saying these are just what I'm just trying to call it like I see it, Bill. I'm not beholden to anyone. It's almost like you're a shill. Who's paying me? Satoshi Nakamoto's paying me, I guess. Somebody said in the comment, you can always tell who the people who are neck deep in crypto, how they foam at the mouth when anybody dares to question the stability of crypto like a cult. Right. Look, they're financially obligated to believe this. There's a lot of different pyramid structures that work in that way. Like people have come out against Herbalife. Bill Ackman, who I don't really like because Bill Ackman is a grifting snake, but Bill Ackman did a whole documentary about Herbalife and basically the multi-level marketing scheme of the dietary supplement company Herbalife. And again, Bill Ackman is a snake in the grass. The guy came out at the beginning of the clam dam and was like, the world is on fire. Everything's going to go to trash. The world's going to burn, sell out of everything. We're going down. The ship's sinking. Everything's going to get goosed. And then he went and he scooped up all those assets for pennies on the dollar and made billions of dollars in profit. This guy's no saint, but he made a lot of great points about Herbalife. Yet people that are in Herbalife, that make money in Herbalife, are like, Herbalife. They're all about it. You're financially beholden to your master. You also want that confirmation bias that comes from having something that you have your money invested in. It's like, I'm just saying, I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't care about if I bought crypto tomorrow, if I bought a couple of Ethereum coins tomorrow, that doesn't make me biased. It doesn't make me a snake. I'm not lying about it. I've owned crypto. I had Litecoin. I had Ether. I had Bitcoin 2 years ago. I had a $4,000 or $5,000 portfolio of Ethereum that right now would probably be worth about $150,000 had I held on to it. I kick myself a little bit for that, but my belief still remains the same. I just don't want to get caught holding the bag. Meanwhile, what I've done with that money that was in that, I've bought other assets that have also made money. So it's like, I didn't maybe make as much money if I sold right now at the very right moment, at the very right second. But what's to say I would have even held out this point to this length anyways? You know, it's like, I don't know. I'm just saying. Look, I don't know. These are the things that I've been studying for many years because I understood that in order to be free, I need to understand the economy. In order to understand the economy, I need to understand politics. That's how I got here. I started reading books on the economy 10 years ago, and I was like, I need to understand the economy and I need to understand politics in order to understand money. I hated money. I wanted money, but I didn't love money. And I was like, I need to figure out how to love money because loving money means loving the game. Once you love the game, it tells you all its secrets. The more I started start to learn about money and the more that I care for money and respect it's the instrument of it, the more I've been able to attract to myself. I understand that I got to get cash flow. I got to make diversified investments. I need property. I'm not going to spend money on frivolous things. This watch was like $100. I can afford a watch that's $5,000, but I have $100 watch because I understand in the short game, I understand the long game, and I understand how to play the operation. And the frugal nature of how I invest my cash has allowed me to do a lot of things that have enabled me to continue to grow the amount of cash that I have, the cash flow that I have, and a lot of other things that will pay dividends going forward. Like your credit score, for example. I've talked a number of times about people getting to work on their credit score. I've been working on my credit score for the last 7 years. Just the other day, I hit 817 on my credit score. It took me nearly 10 years to get my credit score that high. So it's just like, that 817 credit score is going to help me next time I buy a car, next time I buy a house. If I decide to buy a second house, if I try to build a pool, if I try to do any variety of other things, that credit score is going to follow me throughout the remainder of my life. So I'm just trying to tell people what to do or how to look at things. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just trying to teach you how to think. If you look at how to think, you can make the decisions on your own. If you think that Bitcoin is right based on my assessment and based on my perspective, which should be one of many perspectives, and you decide that that's right for you, great. That's right for you. I hope that you make money on it. I really do. This is not here to demonize people that sell Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, hold Bitcoin. I'm just trying to. I got frozen on Instagram. I'm just trying to put it into perspective. I'm just trying to put it into perspective for people that may be trying to figure out where to put their cash at any given time. I just froze up a second ago. I'm going to try to reconnect to my Wi-Fi and hopefully it works here. Hold on one second. Sorry, everybody. All right, I'm going to try to reconnect to the Wi-Fi real quick. All right. All right, there we go. I'm back on the Wi-Fi. Sorry about that. Thank you. So as I was saying, I don't, much like if somebody was trying to give you some health coaching. I don't know your specific situation, right? I don't know that you have a gluten allergy. I don't know your financial position. I'm just trying to give what I believe to be blanket guidance or perspective on this specific topic that people seem to be very gung-ho for, especially younger people. They're very pro crypto. There's very few people that are out there like, watch out. Mainly because people try to pile on them. So I'm not saying anything other than this is my perspective on the matter. I felt it was important to weigh in, especially at this crucial moment where I think what is happening in China and how easy they are able to emotionally manipulate people into believing a horse train is a whip just convinces me that when they come out one day and say, hey, this is being used for bad things, it's white supreme, that people aren't left holding the bag. That's all I'm saying. Some people are saying that I'm delayed on Instagram. Is my voice delayed on Instagram? Is everybody seeing, is my voice matching up with the sound? Give me a thumbs up if I'm matching up with the sound on Instagram. People are saying yes and no, but I don't know. Yes, it's good. Yes, it's good. Okay. All right, good. All right, thank you. And like the one thing that I remember about 2008 is I remember feeling very disenfranchised by the fact that I felt like my generation had been financially goosed. I graduated high school in 2005. And by 2008, when most people were going to start graduating from college, the jobs were limited. They couldn't buy a house. Nobody had cash. Nobody had savings. I was trying to start a small business and I was getting scrooged. I couldn't get a loan. All the banks were all tightened up. And I felt very disenfranchised. And I just said to myself, I need to create an environment where in the future, this never happens to me again. I need to insulate my portfolio. I need to understand how much cash I'm going to have. I need to have money for a rainy day. And you know what happened? In 2020 in March, when everything went to ish, I was sitting here and I looked at my savings account and I'm like, I'm good. I have enough set aside for a rainy day that I had always been like, why do I have this? This is a waste. The rainy day came. There it was, March 2020. There was the rainy day. And just like that, I had the cash sitting waiting. And I was like, this is what I was trying to prepare for since 2008. And here it is, 12 years later, the dividend ends up paying off. I'm very good at very few things in life. One of them is predicting the long term. And that's something that I've always been strong at. So I look at the long game and I'm like, I need to make sure that I'm protected in the event of a rainy day, no matter when it comes. When I look at this Bitcoin game, I'm like, I don't know. I look at other traditional things like let's say stocks. I am confident that if I buy Facebook stock and I hold it for the next decade, that I'll have a lot of money from that. That's it. You can do whatever you want. There's a variety of different ways to make an income. I just follow the things that I know, like, and trust. That's all. Thanks, John. Thank you, Zach. We're just looking at some of the comments. There's no predicting. Yeah, you just got to do the best that you can. You got to figure out how to, like, I always think that the best investment is in things that you can control. The thing that killed me, so I invested in a real estate property here in Florida. And the thing that killed me is that I couldn't wake up in the morning and do any extra work to make it worth more money. I couldn't get my paws in there and make it worth more. That's one thing that bothers me about the stock market. I can't make Facebook stock go up any faster than it's going to go up. So I try to invest in things that I can control, things that I could work hard. I would love to have investments in local businesses or other things. So I just invest in digital assets. I buy digital assets. I buy cash flowing websites. I buy things that I can control, that I can improve, that I can clean up. I basically buy the equivalent of dilapidated rental houses, except I do it online. I understand the idea of a digital asset being non-tangible. I understand the idea of holding something that other people don't understand or trust. I understand the risk associated with buying a website, cleaning it up, and then renting it out, selling ads on it, whatever. I understand that risk. I understand that marketplace, so I invest there. If you understand crypto to that degree, all the power to you. I'm just saying that the vast majority of people need to just be aware of what it is. I wouldn't tell your average person on the street, you should start buying cash flowing websites, especially if you're not a web developer with web development experience, graphic design experience, online marketing experience, coding experience, online software experience. Like, I know WordPress, Shopify, web hosting, PHP, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I know all of those things. It's like, I know a variety of different tools that will equip me in the event of some type of horrible event to go awry. I would know how to sell it, where to buy it, how to fix it, how to repair it. I know all of the things. If I'm going to invest in a rental property, I should probably know how to paint, build, shovel. I should know something about finances, about real estate, how to buy and sell, know an agent, know a broker, know a financier, know a bank, know something about that industry, that in the event that there's a situation that I know how to get myself out of it. That's the whole point. So I think that people should invest in things that they know, like, and trust. And if you know, like, and trust in Bitclam, fine. I'm just saying these are the risks that I see with it. It doesn't mean that there's any asset that's not ripe with risks. It just means that this particular risk, as it's being sold to the vast majority of people that are relatively uninformed about the specific topic, I just think is dangerous and unnecessary. And I think that a lot of other people could put their money to a whole lot better use. That's all I'm saying. But again, these are just my perspectives. People are like, you're an idiot. You're wrong. Tiffany said a lot of our generation doesn't want to put the work in, research stocks. They have been so primed for instant gratification that they don't want to put in work for the outcome. I understand what you're saying by that, but I don't like the idea of making a blanket statement about a generation of the people. It's like a tale as old as time. Like demonize the next generation. Like my parents' parents said that the Beatles were not music. The Beatles aren't music. You can't even understand the words. And then my parents' generation said that the next generation, oh, well, this isn't music. You can't even understand the words. And then when I play music, I play dance music when there sometimes isn't even any words. They're like, this sounds like robot sounds. And I'm sure that if I'm lucky enough to have children in the future, they'll be listening to like bleep, bleep, blorp or whatever. And we won't understand the music and how it works for them. We can't blanket in an entire generation of people and say they just want this. Generally speaking, yeah, most people, I would say most people, not even a generation, want instant gratification. They don't want to do research. That's why we're in this mess. People don't want to do research. People are inherently lazy. That laziness causes them to trust experts about what they should do with their money, their time, their body, and how they should invest their entire life. And as a result, they get caught in a trap because they expose their vulnerabilities by sharing with people what they don't know. And in this particular situation, people are like, what's Bitcoin? And some person jumps in and is like, buy my course, buy Ethereum, buy my strategy. This is how you do it. And then when they're left holding the bag, that person's long gone, way down the river. And they're like, sorry, you knew the risks. And it's like, I'd say like do your own research. Open an E-Trade account, buy some Canadian stocks, buy some US stocks, buy a local business, invest in yourself, buy some equipment, buy a side hustle, buy a Toyota Camry and drive Uber on the weekends. I don't know, but it's just like there's a variety of different ways to do this. Buy a bus. Yeah, buy a bus. Buy a bus, take people around. Who knows? Buy an RV, rent the RV, buy a car, rent it on Turo. Buy a property, buy our Airbnb. I don't know. I'm just saying there's so many different ways to make cash to just put your money in Bitclam and then just sit there and stare at the ticker all day. It's like anxiety. I remember waking up every day. I'd be like, how much is Bitcoin? How much is Bitcoin? Every day. I was like, I rose and fell by it because I wasn't sure if one day I was going to wake up, it's worth zero. I have a ton of Facebook stock, more Facebook stock than I ever would have thought I would have ever held in my whole life. I have more money tied up in Facebook stock than if I was to sell every single belonging in my house right now, I wouldn't come anywhere close to how much I have in Facebook stock. But I wake up in the morning feeling nice and warm and fuzzy that even if I don't look at the Facebook stock ticker for the next 3 months, that it'll still be there. It'll still be a lot closer. I don't need to pay attention to the news to wake up that Xi Jinping decided that it's freaking illegal to own Facebook stock. So whatever, I'm not saying that it's not good. I'm just saying there's probably a lot of other ways to go about it. People are like, commie FB. Yeah, that's why you're on it right now. If you really believed that it was commies, you wouldn't be using it. See, that's such a typical argument from Molombian. It's an investment. Crypto has only gone up in the grand scheme of things over the past decade. Yeah, okay, yeah. It could drop in tank and the plane could fly out of the sky. Yeah, okay. And I could get struck by lightning 64 times in a row, but you're totally missing the point. Brenton said, would you keep your Facebook stock if they banned you? Yeah. Yes, I would. I still believe in the business. Just because you don't like every single thing that an organization does doesn't mean that you throw the baby out with the bathwater. It doesn't mean that you believe that it is in totality bad. Facebook and Instagram have allowed me the ability to distribute my message to you. I mean, as bad as it might be, it's not that bad. Fraudster police said Faisal stock. No, I wouldn't. I don't want to contribute to Faisal. I believe that it'll continue to probably go up, probably forever. But I don't want my money to be there. I had a bunch of shares of Alibaba, and I remember realizing that it was owned in part by the country with the red flag, and I was like, I don't want to own any Alibaba stock. I don't like the way that they treat their people. I believe Alibaba is going to make money till the cows come home. I think Alibaba stock's going to go nuclear. In a lot of ways, it's the Amazon of China. But I didn't want my money in Alibaba stock because I didn't have that much in there, but I didn't want it in there. I used to have stock in Nestle. I started doing some research about Nestle. I was like, what's a better investment than buying water? Like buying a company that sells water. I mean, talk about that. Everybody needs water. It's a basic human need. So I had Nestle stock, and I'm like, this company is not good. So I just took my money out of Nestle. I took it out of Nestle. It doesn't mean that all the other companies don't have bad aspects of it, but generally speaking, I believe that they do, for the most part, like more good than bad. So it's like Jesse said, since FB censor is just as bad as Faisal, I guess, but nobody ever died from being censored. I mean, maybe, but whatever. Look, and there's probably a lot of cases for why Faisal is actually good. There's probably a lot of things you can say, like Faisal saves people. It's just a perspective, you know. Jeff says, if you believe in a stock or crypto, invest in it. That's it. Yeah, no one said not to. Public wish list says, do you think people will migrate to the next hot social media platform? Yeah, I think that they already have. TikTok is already has the majority of the screen time. Most video screen time is already on TikTok. That's the hot new platform. Just because one platform is successful doesn't mean that other ones won't be. There's been a lot of times where I thought Twitter was going to go to zero. People still use Twitter. Each of them present their own individual value proposition. And I think that that's why they all exist, and they do a good job at it. Even though it may be imperfect, there's a variety of different reasons as to why. Twitter sucks. Yeah, I don't like Twitter. MSVT says, Bobby, you want to make merch? I mean, I could. The last time I made, thanks, Joe. Joe on Instagram says, yo, Bob, you are the man. The last time I made merch, it was cool, but a lot of people were just saying different suggestions of things, and then they didn't actually order the things that they suggested. So there ended up being all this random merchandise in the store. I like making merch. I just don't want to make stuff unless people plan on buying it like right on the spot. Because it's just a lot of time and effort. If it doesn't, it's like I do like making merch though. And if enough people say that they want me to, I will make it. The Bobby bus is that MSVT is like, do it. Sable got the badge mug, nice. Cherie says, it's my birthday. Can I see Biggie? Biggie's not doing very well. He's struggling quite a bit. He's in the other room sleeping though, but he's not doing good, sadly. Thanks, Alicia. The badge code. Yeah, also happy birthday. That's what's up, Sheree. Nothing's wrong with him. He's just old and he's having his legs are giving out. His back legs are like really messed up. He I don't know how much longer he's got. His birthday is in 4 weeks. October 25th. A little more than 4 weeks. I hope he makes it till then. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, he's almost 16. It's all good. Thanks for the stars. It's all good. I mean, he's about to be 16, so he lived a full life for sure. Thanks everybody that bought the badges on the gram here. I see a few more came in since last time I said something. Breathe with Kimberly Rose, Keto Vampire, Sable, Artistry by Jennifer, Lisa Chaser 20, Mish Kamars, Jay Flutie 16, Rachel Senger. I see Chooks and Megan Hayward again, multiple on there. Cherie, multiple, Abby 208. And then I mentioned everybody before. Thank you guys for the badges on Instagram. I appreciate it. Yeah, 16. Yeah. Yeah, he's lived quite a long time. If he makes it till October 25th, that'll be 16 years. I got him when he was 8 weeks old. So definitely a long time. He is the man. This is Nora and Pure music. The music playing. It's 10:45. Thanks, Diana. All right, I'll stay for a couple more minutes if anybody has any other questions or anything else they want me to talk about. Otherwise, I'll jump here in a second. Thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate it. Thanks to everybody that joined the Patreon, by the way, at patreon.com/take naps. It's here on the Instagram. It's also here on YouTube and Facebook, patreon.com/take naps. I'm going to do a private Q&A with the Patreons next week. So check that out if you're interested. I appreciate that. Thanks to everybody that's buying the badges on Instagram. I appreciate that as well. A couple people actually bought cameos on cameo.com. I'm on there also, which was kind of sweet. I appreciate that as well. The No More Face Diaper shirt that I'm wearing right now is on bobbysauce.com for anybody who wants to check that out. I saw a couple questions that came through on here. Somebody said, hello from Canada. My gym refuses me access due to the juice pass and refuses a refund. There's one thing that I learned. There's one thing that I learned from working at the bank. I used to work at a bank, the largest bank in Connecticut. I worked at for almost 2 years as a teller one. And I learned a very important piece of information that has benefited me multiple times in my life, which I will share with you now. By law, a credit card company, I believe it's by law, but I know that it's for sure. A credit card company, including Visa or MasterCard, the two most popular. Thank you, Glamma, Med Freedom, for the badges. Appreciate it. Anybody that uses a credit card, Visa or MasterCard, if you make a purchase with your Visa or MasterCard and the company that you buy it from, you try to get a refund or you are within the terms of your agreement, but they fail to provide service or they try to withhold it from you, you can fill out a credit card fraud claim. Not fraud, but you can fill out what's called let's see, it's called a clawback. Let's see. I believe it's called a clawback. Chargeback. Basically, what you do is you call up your credit card company, like Visa or MasterCard. You tell them the nature of your case. Say, hey, I bought a membership at this gym. There were no rules about X, Y, and Z. And you say that they are refusing to give me entry because of the juice or whatever. I don't know if this will work as it relates to the juice, but it works in a variety of other methods. And I would encourage people to utilize this in the event that they get screwed by a business and they can't. That's what it is. It's called a credit card dispute. Thank you, MSVT, for sure. It's called a credit card dispute. So you can file this dispute, and then your credit card company, Visa or MasterCard, will give you what is referred to as a provisional credit, usually within the first 5 to 7 days. So they'll take the nature of your story, and then the credit card company will go to the supplier, they'll go to the vendor, and they'll go to bat for you, and they'll be like, tell us what happened. And they'll essentially be like the judge and jury of the case. Well, they'll take notes from your side and take notes from the other side, and they'll try to determine whether or not it was worthy of a chargeback. The vast majority of the time, the credit card company is on the side of their customer, you, the buyer, more so than it is on the side of the vendor. Because the vendor needs to accept Visa or MasterCard in order to be in business. They need it. Whereas the buyer could go and use Amex. They could pay in cash. They could pay with a debit card. They don't necessarily need to use Visa or MasterCard. But for whatever reason, they typically err on the side of the buyer, the consumer. So if you go and fill out this dispute, Visa goes to bat on your behalf. They call that company and they deal with it, and then they come back to you to collect more evidence, for example. Oftentimes, a business is not going to be wasting their time because they're wasting internal resources for them to deal with whatever to save $50, giving you a refund or whatever. So whatever, sometimes they'll just be like, fine, just take it. Now, I'm a business owner. I've had this happen to me. I've had clawbacks done to me in credit card disputes. So it's been very frustrating. However, if you have a case for it, then it works on your side. I bought a mailbox at a local UPS store so that people could send me mail. I went to that UPS store and they misplaced one of my packages. They gave it to somebody else. It took me weeks for me to actually get this package. They misplaced the wrong tickets in my box. The woman at the desk was rude to me. They changed their hours mysteriously one day. They just cut their hours in half. They're like, oh, everyone has the clap. I called in one time to see the status of a package. It took me 3 days. I called in 10 times a day for 3 days. They never picked the phone up. I had to physically go down there. And the lady was rude to me. The other employee was rude. I don't know where it is, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, look, I'm unsatisfied with this. It took me 3 weeks. I was in there. I was like, I want all my money back. I'm going to leave. Give me my money back for the box and let me be on my way. This is a horrible experience. I don't like being here. And you guys messed up. Give me the cash back. And they were like, no, we're not going to give you back. You talk to the owner. I talked to the owner, and the owner was like, I'm not giving you the money back. He's like, we'll give you 3 months for free. And I'm like, 3 months for free? I don't even want 3 months for free. I don't want any money. I don't want to ever come back here. Give me all the money back. He said, no. And I said, well, I'm going to file a Visa dispute, and I'm going to dispute this charge. I have all the receipts, all the evidence of you guys not picking up the phone, all the missed calls, all the evidence of my package being put in the wrong place. I have the proof of when it was sent via UPS versus when I got it. I was like, I got all the proof, all the phone calls. Good luck. I was like, you either going to give me the money back or I'm going to file the dispute. He was like, no, I'm not giving the money back. I said, okay. I called Visa. I filed the dispute. I got all my money back. And then what are they going to do? They're going to fight with Visa. What? Save $120? Why? They're paying their employees probably 12, 13, 14 bucks an hour. If that person spends 3-4 hours on it, you just lost. That's like, forget it. Just let them go. So I would say file a credit card dispute in the event that you're in the right. In this particular case, I was, and I got an order back. Thank you, Jesse. I saw Jesse just placed an order for a No More Face Diaper shirt. That's what's up. It's a sweet shirt. I've had this one for quite a while. Thank you for that. Tiffany says, is your view on the juice different when it comes to kids? No, I don't know. I guess it depends what you mean different. I don't know that kids should be. I think they're at very low risk, but whatever. Public wish list. I have no idea about that question. I certainly hope not. Billy says, I'm going to get that no diaper t-shirt as well. Thank you. No more face diapers. All right. Someone said, how do we help Australia? I have no idea. I think we got enough to worry about over here. I think they got to help themselves. I don't really know what I don't really know what we could do. We gotta help ourselves. Send in the link to the shirt to Billy on Facebook. Would you rather wear a face diaper for the next year 24/7 or get the juice? Neither. Somebody said, are you good? You look like you've been crying. I couldn't tell you the last time I cried. But yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. Rachel. Good night to everyone but Jane. Yeah, my blood pressure went off the wall. Jones is doing a protest. That's what's up. Jones. Thanks, Michelle. All right, I'm going to cut it before I hit an hour and a half, which is in 3 minutes. So is crypto or gold a better investment? I don't know. I mean, gold is a store of value more than it's an investment. Gold is for preserving wealth, not necessarily growing it. I think that comparing those two is not really there. I would say that the better investment is in assets like property, something that you can cash flow from your business, and improving your house, a variety of other things. Jesse said it on YouTube. Gold is a store of value. Bitcoin is a speculative risk asset. That's correct. Thanks, Glam Ahmed Freedom. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks to everybody that bought the badges on Instagram here in the corner. I very much appreciate that. Thanks to everybody on Facebook and YouTube. check out the video that I did on cryptocurrency today. If you haven't, share it to your story. If you like it, tell people about it, tag some friends in the comments. If you want to join the Patreon, I would really appreciate that. Every piece of support helps. I'm going to do a lot of cool things in there in the coming weeks to help give them an extra bonus. That's at patreon.com/take naps. I appreciate that. Thanks to Michelle, Lisa, and Jesse for the orders that came in on the store while I've been on here. I do appreciate that. I hope you guys enjoy your merchandise. Those will ship out in 2 days. Thank you guys so much for that. Thanks to everybody that bought the badges. Really appreciate it. Glamamed Freedom, Breathe with Kimberly Rose, Keto Vampire, Sableheim, Artistry by Jennifer, Lisa Chase 20, Miss Shakamars, J Floody 16, Rachel Sanger, Chooks Official, Megan Hayward, Abby Two-Way, Shri Arjan 1602, NIUMT 2009, Lana Liberty, MZK Loves Samara, and Carlos NYC Bus. Thank you guys so much for the badges on the gram. Thanks to everybody that's on the Patreon. I really appreciate it. Thanks to everybody for being here. Appreciate the love. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much. Share it with your friends. This video will be here on Instagram permanently as well as on Facebook and YouTube. I believe that I secured a new advertiser this week, actually 2, which is great, supporting companies that help support the channel, that help me reach you guys more. This is a hint to one of them. Not going to tell you what it is yet, and then another one you'll be seeing hopefully in the next couple of days. Those are going to be increasingly crucial for helping sustain the channel. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for all the love, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks so much. I appreciate you guys. Thank you kindly for everything, and thank you so much for the badges and for the support. Much love. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much, Facebook, YouTube. Peace out. Thanks.